right, hello and welcome to a special video podcast of Two Consoles Too Late. And in this video podcast, I'm doing a tech review of the Sharp LCD TV retro gaming monitor. I now have 3 in studio, and I wanted to share my madness with the YouTube public because I have become a prophet of the retro gaming LCD as an alternative to CRTs, which are very heavy and now very expensive. So I'm going to just kind of look at the pros and cons of my experience with the Sharp LCDs, and hopefully get some other people on board. So how did it all start? I went to Goodwill, and there was this TV on the shelf. Typical widescreen after widescreen, but there was this one TV. It was gray. It was a 4:3 aspect ratio. You can tell by the screen. It wasn't widescreen. I looked it up on eBay just out of curiosity, and they sold for like $80. And I thought, okay, boom, this thing's $10. As long as it's working, I can flip it. Get $70 profit out of it. Got it home, tested it. Everything worked great. And I didn't want to sell it. And I thought, you know what, for $10, I'm gonna hold on to this, and I'm gonna get rid of my CRT. Now, at the time, I had a Toshiba 13-inch CRT. I got it from, I think, Facebook Marketplace. I paid $40 for it. Wasn't great. It had scratches on the screen. I think it came from like a local bar or something. But I needed like a CRT option when hooking up especially my Dreamcast and my Saturn. So I came across this LCD TV, and for $10, I quickly replaced my old CRT. I actually ended up giving away that CRT on Facebook Marketplace and sent that on to a better home. And so since acquiring my first Sharp LCD retro gaming monitor, I have now acquired 2 more just in the last 3 weeks. And so here I am. I've got a studio full of these monitors that I'm trying to sell on, not for huge amounts of profit, just to sort of, get them out there, and hopefully someone else can enjoy the experience that I'm having with Sharp retro gaming monitors. So all these retro gaming monitors, they all have, I guess, the conveniences that retro gamers are looking for. My 20-inch has an input for a component cable, but then you can also do AV, S-video, as well as coax. So you can hook up like older consoles, especially like an Atari 2600. That could be an option. 2 of my retro gaming monitors actually have built-in headphone jacks. So you do have an option if you want to wear headphones while you're doing your gaming or watching TV, either or. None of my TVs have remotes, but the remotes can easily be gotten on eBay. A quick search, just search the model number of the TV, and very quickly, there's usually a couple remotes for sale, $8 to $15, not too much, plus shipping. And just pro tip, just be wary of battery corrosion, because that's unfortunately these things fall prey to battery corrosion all too often. But those can easily be gotten off of eBay. Funny thing about 2 of my retro LCD monitors is that they have handles. And I just thought that was really interesting. Why would you put a handle on a TV? I'm not sure if Sharp was looking for portability or just ease of use and the ability to move it. But 2 of them have handles. And I joked with my wife, it's got a handle. Can you play tennis with it? And one of the 15-inch monitors, it's a Sharp Aquos, which I guess is sort of like their premier brand, much like a Sony Bravia. I think Toshiba might be like Viera, or was that Panasonic might be like Viera. Anyway, on the Sharp Aquos that I have on the back is the name of the designer of the TV with their signature, which I thought was really interesting. That's something that I don't think it's, you saw it on like the Apple Macintosh, that everyone put their signatures on the inside casing of the Apple Macintosh. So I guess Sharp really believed in this product enough to put the designer's name on it. His name eludes me right now. It's a Japanese name, and I probably wouldn't be able to pronounce it anyway. But anyway, so yeah, I've got 3 of these things in studio. 2 of them have handles. Now, when it comes to streaming, I am rocking a widescreen Vizio TV. I also picked up from Goodwill, paid $25 for that. And the differences are night and day. Too often, especially when I'm doing the PS1 long box, live stream on Saturday mornings, I'll pop a game in, and the game will sometimes be unplayable because the color levels on a wide screen just can't meet what can be done on a CRT or perhaps my retro gaming monitors. Games that come to mind that were rendered unplayable, Alien Trilogy. That game was difficult because it was just too dark. And Kiliak the DNA Imperative. That one was a little difficult because playing it on my Vizio LCD just wasn't, the colors were no good. But the minute I hooked my Saturn or my PlayStation up to a retro gaming monitor, right away there's a difference. So I'm not sure technically why that is. I'm not an engineer, but that is a big boon to at least CRT TVs, is the colors are a lot more, I guess, warmer or brighter than you would get on these widescreen TVs. So as far as specifications go, all 3 of my Sharp LCD gaming monitors have a 480p resolution. I think that's pretty good. I think that's what you're going to get on a CRT, maybe sometimes even better. I don't know. Once again, I'm not an engineer. Personally, I don't think I could tell the difference between a CRT and one of these retro gaming monitors, other than the fact that they weigh half as much and they cost way less. For me, it's just a no-brainer. So every so often, you might come across these in the wild. Since I acquired my 20-inch, I've had my eye out for them. And like I said, in the last 3 weeks, I've come across 2 of them at the Savers thrift store. And I've yet to see any in Goodwill, because Goodwill, they're not really stocking TVs too much these days. I was actually in 2 Goodwills yesterday. They didn't have any TVs at all. All right, so finding the Sharp retro gaming monitors in the wild can be a bit of a challenge. I found, like I said, my 20-inch, I found that about a year ago at a Goodwill. But since then, I've kept my eye out. And it's only in the last 3 weeks that I've come across these 2 Sharp retro gaming monitors at the Savers thrift store. I have done searches on Facebook Marketplace just for a Sharp TV. And every once in a while, one of these retro gaming monitors will come up, but they're being sold as retro gaming monitors. People are getting wise to these things because they have the hookups that retro gamers want. So they're being sold as retro gaming monitors, and thus, the price is usually around $50. That's about the lowest. Sometimes you'll see one for about $25. And I condition and functionality kind of depends on the listing. So I do search for them. They do pop up every once in a while, but not too often. And when they do, people are wise to what they are, and they're trying to get the maximum dollar out of them. I've decided, I'd like to flip them, but not for a huge profit. Once again, I just kind of want to send them on to good homes, hopefully to other retro gamers who will appreciate their value, and that they are definitely an alternative to a working CRT. For well under half the cost of a working CRT, so I'm assuming that if you're going to get a working CRT today off Facebook Marketplace, you're going to pay about $100. So for about half of that, at least, so we're looking at $50 total investment, you can pick up one of these retro gaming monitors, at least off Facebook Marketplace. Just got to do your homework, make sure that it works, see if it comes with a remote. And if it does come with a remote, make sure there's no corrosion. And these things are coming in at half the weight of a CRT, so you're not breaking your back. And at half the cost, you're not breaking the bank, which is also a huge thing. So I'm putting my endorsement here at Two Consoles Too Late on these wonderful gems of the early 2000s. They're not obsolete tech, and I just want to keep them out of the dumpsters, out of the landfills, and in the hands of retro gamers that are going to appreciate them. There's an apartment complex building, kind of catty corner adjacent. Why can't I say catty corner? This is why you don't do YouTube.